All right, we're hopping right on it. I know you've been waited with bated breath all week, or bait on your breath, depends on what you're eating. Here we have the life of Lincoln. This is his formative year, and then his early year, and then two more formative years. You wonder, maybe he's reading about George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. Then we had many visits by a crowned head of Europe. Yes, Elizabeth II, 79, 78, 76, 75, and then 62, 87, and a 53, an 07, and a 79. Let's look at the three different portraits. This was the original young. She ascended to the throne in 53. I have a friend from UK, Michael. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. So this would have been a first year. And there's Elizabeth II. There she is. Her father, King George VI, had passed away in February of 52. So that was the earliest. And then here she is in 78. This is the second portrait. And then here she is in her latter years. And this is 07, I believe. Yep. Interesting. Okay, then for the Wheaties, we have a 1958 D. And here's a 56 D. A 58 D. And there's our oldie for the day. A 35. And then there is a 51D. Now, as far as the keepers, the uncirculated or almost uncirculated. And then for the AUs, we had a 69 plain. And there's a 73D, 71D, 77 plain. And there's a 73. As far as the second generation S's, I did make out pretty well this week on that. All right, on the S's, the second generation S's, I got a 74. And there's a 70. They're a little harder to find. Another 74, 69, and there's a 69. And there's a 74 there. And what I mean by second generation, in 1954, San Francisco did not mint any pennies. And then they resumed again in 68. So there's the 68S through the 74S. And then that was the last year that San Francisco minted business strikes in the S. Then I was 20 cents, or well, 18 cents richer. There were 2 dimes in a roll. And then the Queen had this nasty here, the 74. Then we have this very honorable mention in an 08. Apparently it was probably just dropped into circulation, but it is beautiful. Then I think maybe we have a possible lamination error here. I'm not positive. I don't know, that side looks more like it was rough housed. All right. So there you have it. Hey, not a whole lot to jump up and down about. It's not so much what you find, but it's the quest that counts for treasure. So As always, God bless you and keep you, and may all your treasure hunts make you smile. I'll plan to have another box of pennies next week, which will wrap up the coin roll season. Thank you. Let me share with you something I've been doing this past few weeks as just an extra hobby. All of us that dig know that we do find Indian artifacts from time to time. I found an arrowhead probably a month and a half ago. I talked to somebody on Facebook who was into Indian artifacts and said, hey, you can learn to make those. And he said you can use glass. And this glass is recovered glass. This is an old mason jar. I haven't got it all figured out yet, but it's a work in progress. So that's a mason jar. This is a piece of desert glass. You can see how it's been toned by the sun. It's off an old site. And then, of course, this is another, I assume it's a Bromo seltzer bottle. So I have that. Here's some stone. That's a piece of chert I picked up in the drive, the back drive. And then another little piece of chert. So, I mean, there are plenty of videos on YouTube if you want to learn how to do it. I might do one sometime, not that I know a whole lot about it. Here's a little piece I was tinkering with. Oh, it's pointy. You get the point? I got it. All right, thanks for watching.